Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we have a coffee request. If you want to request a video, click over here or buy me a coffee. Link is in the description. And guys, thank you so much for your support. Today we have a coffee request by Cecilia, and Cecilia says, there have been a lot of talk about the Danish language and the difficulties people have of understanding it. So I thought you should get a little lesson about a sound that is apparently only found in the Danish language. Wow, there's so many languages in the world and dialects. How is this the only sound that no other language has? This is going to be an interesting video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me on Discord. The link is in the description. We are building a great big community there on Discord. This is from K. Klein. That's the channel. So shout out to K. Klein, and let's check this out.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
No,
Stick around
it's
to the end of the video
not.
to hear more. Danish phonology is wild. I mean, okay, all the North Germanic languages are a bit weird in their sound systems, but come on, Danish is something else. And I'm not just saying that as a Swede. I mean, for real, this language stands
Sweden.
out. It has
Shout out to
26
Sweden,
vowel
too.
phonemes. Compare that to the 5
Whoa.
of Japanese or the 6 of
What? You have the close, mid, open. What?
Indonesian. Even compare it to the other Germanic languages, which are already known in general for their high number
What?
of vowels. It also has sto, which means
What about
thrust
Chinese?
in Danish. This is often known as a glottal stop, but phonologically it's usually not. It's actually where a syllable is split up into two parts, the first with higher than usual intensity and pitch, the second with the lower, and where this second part with the less intense phonation is laryngealized, which means
What?
it's said with vocal creak. This is the difference between hun without stirred and hun with stirred, which might sound like a glottal stop at first listen, but if we slow those right down,
Hun. Hood.
do you hear it? I don't mean to take away from these features, they're rare, but they're not unique. Using the same counting method as we did for Danish, Limburgish has at least 28 vowels, and
Wow.
Livonian, a Finnic language completely unrelated to Danish, also has stirred. But, as far as I'm aware, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's another feature of Danish which we have not yet discovered in a single other language. It's just one little sound, one I've already attempted to make in this video, a simple little consonant, the soft D, or blødt D, as in the final sound of the word stu. Now you've heard how it's supposed to be pronounced, let's
Sto.
take a closer look at this sound, using our old friend, the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet. Generally, in broad transcription, this sound is written like this. Broad transcription is where we ignore the finer details of sounds in speech and just simplify it down. It doesn't really tell us how a sound is pronounced, only acts as a stand-in for that sound in that specific
isn't that the
language or
TH sound in
dialect.
English?
This letter ev in the IPA actually represents the sound th, the voiced dental fricative, which you find in English words like the or
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm
and
saying.
Clearly, that is not So how do we get from here to the actual way this soft D sounds? Firstly, we have to retract that, meaning move it backwards in the mouth. Because it's actually not a dental sound, it's an alveolar one. That means that instead of having the tongue on the teeth, the tongue is on the alveolar ridge, just behind your teeth. Now, if we're going to make that fricative sound on the alveolar ridge instead of the teeth, it's easy to say zzz, because that is the voiced alveolar fricative present in English. But we're looking here for a non-sibilant fricative. Zzz, just like s and sh and zh, is a sibilant, which is a type of fricative where a stream of air is directed by the tongue towards the teeth. This gives it a higher pitch and amplitude, which you can hear yourself when you compare th and s. So instead of that zzz, we want a th, but on the alveolar ridge, a th sound. But that's not really the soft D either. Otto Jespersen, a famous phonetician and linguist of the 19th and 20th centuries, described the soft D as a laminal alveolar fricative. See, in phonetics we talk about different parts of the tongue. The biggest division is into coronal consonants, made with the flexible front part of the tongue, and dorsal, made with the back. Within the coronal consonants, we have several subdivisions, most notably for our purposes, apical and laminal. Apical consonants are made made with the very tip of the tongue, whereas laminals are made with what's known as the blade, the part of the tongue right behind the tip. Jespersen writes that we can therefore pronounce the consonant properly with the tip of our tongue on the lower teeth, thus making the blade touch the alveolar ridge. The. And apparently this is sometimes how it's pronounced in distinct Danish, like on the stage of the Royal Theatre. But it's not the sound we all know and love, because as many authors have observed, this sound is generally not actually a fricative. To make a fricative, there has to be friction. You have to force air through a narrow space, created by putting articulators, parts of the mouth which can be used for making sound, close together to create a turbulence in the airflow. Take v, for instance, where you can very easily feel the friction between your lower lip and your upper teeth. But the soft D doesn't put the articulators, the blade of the tongue and the alveolar ridge, remember, close enough together to cause that friction, and we represent that with this lowered diacritic, so the final sound is an approximant. Ugh. Just kidding, this sound wouldn't be complete without one final component. Of course, it couldn't be that simple
sound?
because the soft D has secondary articulation, where a second part of the mouth is shaped to color the primary articulation. For instance, in the case of the soft D, we have velarization, where while you're saying the consonant, the tongue is lifted towards the velum. That's the soft palate towards the back of your mouth you use in the sounds k or g. And hence, you get yeah, no surprise this sound is unique. Oh, and like other approximants, vowels and nasals in Danish, it can have stirred. So we get words like blue. How fun is that? See, it's fully possible for a Swede to make a whole video about Danish without any unsavory jokes about how it sounds. Danish phonology is not a joke. I take it very seriously. It's a very serious, potentially chronic, throat condition that I would never make fun of. At least not online, where it's public for everyone to see. But there are some things we want everyone to see online, and one of those is our website, which is why it's important that it's professional and appealing. And that's why this video
is sponsored. Okay, we're gonna cut off the sponsor segment because, you know, like it's not my sponsor, but you can go out and check out Kay Klein's channel. It's very interesting. I don't really know if I know how to do that because I need to speak to a Danish person. Still. I don't know if that's I'm just doing an L sound at this point. Still. Like that? Stood. Don't know. Anyways, how is that? If you are from Denmark, I really don't know. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much, Cecilia, for sending this. Cecilia is our Danish ambassador. She always shares all of the videos from Denmark. So if you are from Denmark and you want to help her out, you can do like Cecilia did and request a video, and yeah, or click over here and you can check out my education or Denmark video here playlist. I think it's educational playlist. Take care now. Bye-bye.